Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Last night, Jason Kenney announced the harshest lockdown yet for Alberta. He's banning pretty much all social interaction, both inside and outside, shutting down countless businesses, and he's doubling down on his enforcement.
We are doubling the basic fine for violating public health measures from $1,000 to $2,000. The maximum fine for serious offenses remains under the law $100,000. And we are introducing a tougher enforcement protocol for repeat offenders, because we will not tolerate those who endanger the health of their fellow Albertans while the vast majority of people are doing the right thing.
But why is he doing all this? This is the chart from the Alberta government's own website of COVID stats, showing that the daily deaths in the province, well, it's about 5 a day on average, 81 years old, with on average 3 or more very serious health conditions pre-existing, like dementia, stroke, cancer, diabetes. I'm not happy that 5 people a day are dying from COVID, but it's nowhere near the leading cause of death in that province. And as you can see in the government's own graph, it's pretty much the rate of death since the beginning of the whole thing last year, except for that big spike in December and January when it was 25 deaths per day. So it's down by 80% from 90 days ago. So why is the government locking everyone down now? See the graph for yourself. The death rate was flat. It's off the spike from December, January. So why panic? I know why. Because cases are up, they say. But what's a case? Someone who tests positive but doesn't even get sick? That counts as a case, you know. Someone who gets sick, but it's so mild, it's over in a couple of days like the regular flu, and then they're naturally immune to it. That's a case too, you know. You can't actually stop a virus. They've been coming at us since we lived in caves. People who get sick from the virus and get better, that's not actually a terrible outcome. If you're worried about dying, and that's a good thing to be worried about, I guess, how about focus on, you know, the 81-year-olds with heart conditions and strokes and cancer? I'm all for that. Let's take care of them. But the thing is, last night, that is not who Jason Kenney's new rules focus on. I know, because I watched his speech and I read his new memo. Things for 81-year-old, very sick people, they're not actually going to change at all. What will change are the rules for everyone else, people who aren't dying and who aren't even getting sick. I don't think this is about health. I think this is about control and power. And it's about political games. Take a look at this. Here is the official list of rules. Expanded restrictions for high-case regions. Starting May 5th, additional restrictions come into effect for regions with at least 50 cases per 100,000 people and at least 30 active cases. These restrictions will be in place for at least 3 weeks and will be extended if necessary. Province-wide restrictions remain in effect for all other communities. Well, hang on. Just the other day, Jason Kenney was threatening tough measures, but he said he would only apply them if the case rate was 350 per 100,000 people. But now he's bringing in his harsh rules at 1/7 that level, at 50 per 100,000. What? Literally all of Canada would be locked down under that rule, except for the small population provinces in the Atlantic. 50 cases per 100,000, that's his rule for a brutal crackdown? That's not a good idea. No one else in the whole world does that. His threshold for a crisis is not a crisis. It's ridiculously low. It's lower than he said it would be just a couple days ago. And look at how draconian it is. Indoor gatherings. All indoor gatherings remain prohibited. Oh, just that. Just banning all gatherings, except for his government gatherings, I presume, the meetings of his cabinet to ban everyone else. They meet. They're very important. Outdoor gatherings. All outdoor social gatherings must be limited to no more than 5 people and a maximum of 2 household cohorts. Mandatory physical distancing must be maintained at all times between members of different households. So I got it. So 2 people can meet up outside in a giant field with 3 people, but they can't actually meet. They have to stay 6 feet apart. And that's outside, by the way. Yeah. Look, I know the political class, the media class, they love this lockdown. But normal humans will not do that, cannot do that. We're social creatures. Do you really think that even conservative MLAs will follow that rule? We know the answer. Half of Kenney's MLAs and even his own chief of staff scoffed at his no travel rule for the public over Christmas. No one listens to these absurd rules, certainly not the ruling class. And stay home, but only to watch TV. Let me read some more. Indoor activities, all indoor sport, performance and recreation activities for youth and adults are prohibited. Indoor fitness and recreation facilities must close, including for one-on-one training. Not a single person under age 20 has died from the virus in Alberta, by the way. I don't think that indoor sports for youth are the problem, do you? There are no 81-year-old triple sick people in those groups that were just banned. Neither are there 20-something coaches. Why are you punishing kids by making them unhealthy? You can't go to sports, you can't work out. Why do you think this will suddenly make people in seniors' homes safer? Now look at this juxtaposition. Look at this. Outdoor activities. All outdoor activities and recreation activities are prohibited except with members of your household or your 2 close contacts if you live alone. This includes all group physical activities such as team sports, fitness classes, training sessions, and one-on-one sessions and training activities, all practices, training, and games. Again, I don't think there's a lot of 81-year-olds with strokes and diabetes and cancer that are being covered here. But no team sports at all, no kids sports, nothing. But look at this next bullet point and realize what's going here. This is not about health. This is about power and influence and who's on the inside and who's on the outside. Look at this next point. Professional sport organizations that have received an exemption can continue, provided protocols are strictly followed. I thought it was dangerous to do team sports. I thought people were really, really bad if they did that and needed extra enforcement. I thought they hated society if they did that. Not only do NHL players get to play while your kids don't, but their exemptions include the right for them to have their whole entourage go out to restaurants for dinner and have those restaurants open up to serve them, but only them. See, your problem as a citizen or as a kid who wants to play hockey is that you don't have the right lobbyists and you're not millionaires playing hockey for billionaires. You're just kids wanting to burn off some energy and hang out with friends and have fun. See, the virus doesn't touch the millionaires, you see. That's science, you see. That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.